Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Loop Learnings, and this is the video where I'm going to make some corrections on the approach that I demonstrated in the previous video. There's a word in Japanese called Kaizen, and it means continuous improvement. And with the spirit of continuous improvement, I thought to make the approach a little bit different, little bit easier, because after making the last video, I thought that is a little bit complicated approach. But so in this video I'm going to demonstrate the different approach, which is much easier for achieving the same task, essentially fee collection. And so if you want to learn about it, then stick around and please watch my explanation at the start of the video, okay? Because it will help you to understand what it is. I know some of you may get bored with the explanation, but that's okay. But if you really want to learn, that explanation is essential to go through. But before I do all of that explanation and demonstration, how about subscribing to the channel, right? Giving some love to channel by joining the channel. So click on subscribe and click on join as well, right? So that will make me give me encouragement to make further videos. Anyway, let's get back to Microsoft Access and let's look at what I'm talking about. If you will see this form was created in the last video. In fact, we worked on it, but it has lots of complication. It fetches the information from different tables. So the first, initially my thought process was, for example, I'll give you an idea that if an admission record gets created, it will create a record in the fee collection table. Okay, so this is the table in the fee collection table. This fee collection table has information such as previous balance, fee due, total due, fee collected, balance. That is fine. That's what we need. But what will happen is with this approach, and on top of that, there is a fee balance table as well. Right? If you have watched the previous video, you would know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, please go ahead and do watch that video as well after finishing this, okay? Do not close it off. Anyway, so we have the fee balance table. So my initial thought and approach was, okay, let's fetch the information from fee collection table onto this list box, and then let's double click on this list box, and when I do, it fetches the information from the fee balance and it pastes here in the previous balance field. And that was a bit complicated to me after I made that video. So I thought there is a better way I can achieve the same result, in fact with much better ease. So that's what I thought I'll demonstrate, rather than I just skip and move on to the next one. So what I'm going to do now, well, first of all, I'm going to get rid of this table called fee balance. Yeah, you must be thinking why. Well, we can get the same information actually from the fee collection table itself. Okay, so I'll demonstrate how. So for example, if you'll see, I was testing it out. Let me make it, in fact, let me keep it in the same way. So I created another query called fee due query. So I double click on this and it shows me the total fee due. So the idea is anything that is under balanced column of the fee collection table, that should appear as a fee due. Technically that is a fee due, right? So if there are multiple records for one student and they have the balance in each, that should calculate and that should add up and that should show here. And when the fee collection is happening this time, for example, now I'm collecting fee for a particular student, it adds all the previous balances, it adds them up and it presents that as total due. I don't know if that makes sense, but I thought that is the easiest approach we can take. So I'm going to try in this video, but first let me make this, because I was testing before I made the video, and during test it made a whole lot of sense to me, and that's why I thought I'll go and demonstrate this on the video to show the rest of the audience who may care about these videos and learning from these videos. So let's look at that. Okay, let's close this. Let's keep it open but refresh it because the data has been changed. So here we go. Now fee balance table, I'm going to close it. In fact, I'm going to get rid of it at the end of the video. So I go to the fee collection form and I get rid of some of the fields here. So these fields I get rid of, and then I keep the total due, I keep the fee collected, and I keep the balance, no need balance, I get rid of it as well. And the status field, okay, we can keep it. And by the way, there is hidden field, I kept it because there was no space earlier. Now we can bring it back because we do have some space now. Okay, so here we go. Let me change the height. Okay, little OCD. Visible, yes. Okay, let's make these two, and this and this, and yeah, as enabled, no, locked, yes, that would be fine. Total due, let's make it as red, and fee collected, let's make it as green. So little colorful, yeah, people likes color, everyone likes color, who doesn't? So the idea now is that when I double click here, I point my direction towards this query and say, okay, give me the fee due information, if there is any in the table in this particular query, and whatever amount is under fee due column, fetch it and totally put it in total due field, and then I'll do the fee collection. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate. So now we have to trim some of the code. So let's click on it, list box. So let's go to the event tab, on double click, and let's look at the code. So essentially, if you will see, I don't actually need this, I don't need this, okay, because this was used. In fact, it was crazy. After doing this code, it worked, definitely it worked. If you will see the last video, it is working, but I didn't like it. This approach is, to me, it's a bit more complicated. So I thought, that's why I thought to change the approach. So we get rid of all this code. You see, we have we have simplified it, and this is required in coding. So less number of fields, repeated information, less number of records, and less number of rows in or the line of codes. That will make application lighter and faster as well. That's what I believe. Okay, now let's look at what else we need to get rid of. Well, when we double click here, we want this information collection, this general information, and then we want total due, fee collected, and status date. So let's scroll down, and in fact here RS balance, I'm going to change, because as I mentioned, I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to point towards the fee due queue. So that's what I will write here, fee due queue, and it is read only. That is fine. We're looking for student ID, rest is okay, I think. And this we want to get rid of. So previous balance, fee due, that we will get rid of. We'll keep the total due because this is where we need this information from this query, from this column. Okay, so we'll keep that. So instead of list 11, I'll say RS balance exclamation mark fee due. You must be thinking, what is writing? Well, this is basically, I'm referring to this record set that we have created, and we are reading the record from this query, and we are asking, hey, check the student ID which we have selected onto the list box, if that exists here, and whatever the amount in the fee due column, take that and put it here. That's what you're doing, right? Okay, now do we need fee collected? We don't actually. Fee balance, we don't. So let's get rid of these two as well. Okay, now that is done. Let's check it out. Let's test before we actually move on. So let's oh, why did I close? Let's keep it open because we are going to test it. Okay, so now if I double click on student 6 is due for 2320, and here we go, 2320, right? We collected is 0. Let's student 13 2320, 2320. Let's look at student 7 2520. Okay, so 2520 is just simple, straightforward. I don't need to refer to different tables or queries to get the information. I just take the information from the same table and converted it into query, and that made life so much easier. Okay, now let's do a little bit coding behind collect payment, and we have to think of the logic. So we'll put logic as if there is no record selected, give an error. That's logical, right? Another logic will put if the fee collected entered amount is greater than fee due, give an error. Say, hey, you can't do that because you can't collect more fee than it is required. Then another logic will build in if the fee collected is less than what is due, throw an error and say, hey, do you really want to proceed, yes or no? Let the user choice. If no, then do nothing. If yes, then collect the payment record, update the record in fee collection table accordingly, and empty these fields and refresh this list box. So there's a whole lot of things will happen when we click on collect payment button. So let's go to design view, click on collect payment, on click event. Right, we already have the code for the error handling, so we'll say okay, now we will actually open the fee collection, not the query but the table fee collection, where it is gone. Here we go, fee collection. So now we will open this table in the background, so using record source. So we'll say dim rs collection as a record set. Okay, not record, as record set. Okay, set rs collection equals no current db dot open record set, parenthesis open, parenthesis close, double quote, and we will give a reference of this table, fee collection t, fee collection t, and we will open as a dataset, db open dataset. Okay, now we will say find first. What are we looking for? Collection ID, because we are working with a specific record here. So we'll say rs collection dot find first. What we are finding? Collection ID equals ampersand me dot collection ID. Okay, and we don't have to use if we found what should happen, if we don't what should happen, because we have the record. That's why we have fetched the record in the first place, so we don't have to use that. But remember, I mentioned we have to put some logics here. So the logics will, let's put those logics and then continue. If me dot collection ID equals double quote, which is empty, then to cmd dot beep message box, this action cannot be performed. Simple as that, right? Logical. Okay, VB critical. Okay, let's give this VB information as well. No, we have to give title, header, just simply information. Now let's put here else so we don't forget, and let's put here end if so we don't forget. Okay, now we'll say else if what? Let's get rid of this. Else if me dot fee collected is greater than me dot fee due or total due, I believe, yes, then throw a message box and say the amount being collected is greater than amount due. Okay, so we give that error and we clear the field out as well. Me dot fee collected, or maybe we'll put 0. Okay, we put another logic, which is, if it is less than what we are collecting, so that we will do it here. Okay, after this we come here and we say, and by the way, we have to declare another variable. So let's take all of this, let's bring it on the top. Okay, and let's create another variable, dim response as integer. Okay, and then we come here and we say, all right, if response equals to message box, oops, and by the way, not if response equal to, first of all we have to analyze the logic. If the fee collected is less than total due, that's the first one, right? If me dot fee collected is less than me dot total due, then what, right? So we'll close that and we'll put else condition as well. So if that's the case, then through a message box, so we'll say if a response equals message box, and you say the fee being collected is less than the fee due, are you sure to proceed? Ask this question, VB yes no plus VB question. Okay, and then close that. Then, or you can simply say a response and then you put if and then condition. Okay, so you say if response equals VB yes, then, okay, come on, why n is not working on my else and if. Okay, close that as well. All right, here we'll put do nothing, because essentially this else condition is after this. So if it is less than, then of course then trigger this message box and ask, hey, do you want to do this? And if user say yes, then if says no, then do nothing, right? But if says yes, then go ahead and do the collection. And now we will open the table. We'll say rs collection dot edit rs collection dot update, and we close that as well, rs collection dot close. Okay, in here simply we'll go, I hope that you're understanding what I'm typing and talking about. Please do pay attention, and if you still don't, please rewind the video and watch it again. Hopefully you remember, hopefully you will understand what I'm talking about. So the only thing, I'm only 3 columns essentially I'm going to update, and that is fee collected, status, and status date. That's what I'm going to update here. So as collection exclamation mark fee collected equals me dot fee collected. Okay, and then rs collection exclamation mark status equals completed. Okay, then rs collection exclamation mark status date equals format now date month year. Okay, and then we update that, and then we come here and actually we do a lot of cleaning of these text boxes and refresh this list box as well. And we say me dot list dot requery. Okay, and then we clear out the text boxes, me dot collection ID equals me dot student ID equals me dot type equals, actually I'm clearing out these text box one by one if you are wondering what he's typing. Me dot reference equals me dot ay equals nothing, me dot am equals nothing, me dot total due equals nothing, me dot fee collected equals nothing, me dot status equals nothing, me dot status date equals nothing. Okay, now we have to give some sort of confirmation message to the user as well, right? So here okay, now here's the thing, if it is less than total due, then trigger this message box, and if response is yes, then perform this. If response is no, then do nothing. And if the else if the fee collection, right? So here instead of do nothing, we have to actually follow this as well. So just stay with me, just keep watching. Okay, so we have to perform some coding here as well, but here I will give a message box, and here, right here, so I'll say do cmd dot beep message box, the fee has been collected partially, because we are collecting partially, right? Is it spellings are correct? I hope so. Hopefully we be information comma information. Okay, and then we requery, and then we clean out. But if the fee collected was equal to total due, then actually we don't have to trigger all of this message box, right? What we do is we open the collection table and we update the information. So we simply, what we need to do is we just copy this. So rather than I type it again, I copy the entire thing. Okay, all right, and I come here and I paste it. Okay, So maybe we'll change a little bit, for example partially. So the fee has been collected, or you change your message box the way you wish to do so. Okay, that is it. With the power of copy and paste, we did save some time. Alright, let's debug it. Okay, it seems to be okay, but we have to test it now. Hopefully it works. Alright, let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, so first test I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fee collection. First test I'm going to do is I'm going to basically collect the fee fully. Then the next test we will do the partial fee collection. Okay, so let's say student 5, double click, so we get the 2520. Until now it works. And now I forgot to put one logic. If fee collected is empty, give a message box. Oh god, I have to go back. Well, no worries, these things happens. And hang on. Okay, all right, that is this. All right, now let's give a message box. Sorry, so we'll say else if me.fee collected equals double quote between empty, or if it is 0, because we also 0 is not acceptable as well, right? Or if it is 0, then throw a message box that please provide the amount which is being collected. Okay, that is beautiful. Let's see, it should work, then it will look more beautiful, right? Okay, so let's open it again. Let's fingers crossed check the first condition. What? You see, this is what I'm talking about. So let's go back and let's see what's happening here. Have I forgot something? Let me go back here. Okay, yep, NZ, because this is unbound form, right? And with these unbound forms, generally it works, but with the unbound forms we have to wrap it up with NZ, because sometimes it causes problem, like we have seen just now. Okay, so wherever it is needed, we use that. Here is not required. Okay, let's test it out again. Apologies folks, these things happens. So let's go to fee collection table, and we have messed up here. And let's fee collected 0. Okay, and let's put it back as new. Right, let's go back and let's try it again. Okay, yeah, this action cannot be performed. Thank you. Missing operators. Why this error is coming? Let's see. Let's remove the error handling, so we get to the line where this error is being generated. Okay, all right, debug. Okay, so we are team RS collection, fee collection T. All right, we take that and we paste it here. So set RS collection equals current db dot open record fee collection t open dynaset RS collection dot find first collection ID ampersand yes, because this will give error definitely. Now that error went away. Okay, if now let's select a record. So collection ID 12, student 6, 2320. Let's click on that. Hopefully it works. And it works. Please provide the amount which is being collected. Now let's give more amount. Let's say 2500. Let's try to collect more than what is required. And say the amount being collected is greater than amount due. Beautiful, right? Now let's collect the same amount 2320 and now collect payment. The fee has been collected. Awesome, right? Now let's go to the design view. Let's go to fee collection table and we can see here the collection ID 12, student 6, total due 2320, collected 2320, balance is 0, marked as completed. Amazing. Now if I'll refresh, this student 6 2320 should be changed to actually 0. So let's refresh. There you go. It is working like butter, definitely. Now test is not completed. Let's continue. Let's do another test. So let's click here. This time collection ID, let's change that. Collection ID 9, student ID 2, 2520 is due. So let's say I collect 2000 instead of 2520. Let's click on payment and we are getting the confirmation box. Hey, the fee being collected is less than fee due. Are you sure to proceed? Let's test no, and nothing happens. And now if I'll click on yes, then it should proceed. Come on. Come on. What happened? What happened? Okay. Does something happen? Let's go here. So nothing happened. Alright, so let's look at that. If response is yes, that's when it's not working. Okay. If alright, until now it's working. How will it work? Response, right? If response equals yes. Okay, response. Is it correct? Let me take that and paste in here. So just a little typo and the entire code is not working. Funny. Well, okay, let's try it out. Say yes. And the fee has been collected partially. Boom. Now let's look at the table and let's see. Here we go. So 9 numbers, student ID 2, 520 is the balance. Now student ID 2, if I refresh, if it is correct, this should be 520, and certainly it is. There you go, it is working. So I think this approach is much easier. So let me get rid of fee balance table. This is redundant now. So fee balance, thank you very much for being there, but we don't need you anymore. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, it's not getting deleted because of the related information. Anyway, I'll get rid of it, and you too as well. So that's how you make it more easier when it comes to fee collection. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can run the fee roll, which means a school or institute, whoever will have this application, can run a fee roll and actually can generate fee roll automatically for all the students. That is for next video. I'll see you in the next one. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do and hit the bell icon so you get notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks very much and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.